Another one bites the dust. Unfortunately for enjoyers of cringe, there doesn't look like there's going to be a She-Hulk season 2. I know there were a bunch of teases in 2023 that it could be happening, and frankly, just for the good laugh that it did provide when it was going on back in 2022 in a very busy period for streaming shows. One of them ended up being good. Another one I hear is decent. And then the other ones were Rings of Power and the aforementioned She-Hulk. It would have been so nice and interesting how they would have ended up going with a second season of this crap, but apparently, it's just not in the cards, guys. That's unfortunate. She-Hulk star says that there is no hope for season 2. Oh no, we were all waiting with unironic bated breath for that one. Tatiana Maslany, the actor who played Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, is back with more incredibly dim takes. She was running her mouth at the time when She-Hulk was out there, and then in the aftermath when everybody was going, wow, that was absolutely terrible. You're just a misogynist. No, you guys made a terrible show. Well, we'll show you when season 2 gets announced. Oopsie daisy. Appearing on streamer Nerd Incorrect's Twitch game show Codenames Live. That's a lot of words that I don't know anything about, but okay. Maslany was asked by the host, should we hope for a season 2? I don't think so, Maslany replied. I think we blew our budget, and Disney was like, no thanks. Okay, so you used the budget that was afforded to you, which, spoilers, it was over $200 million. Or what was it, 8 embarrassing episodes? Like, holy man, $200 million. $200 million. And you wonder why Disney Plus is in the shape that it's in. Maslany's statement isn't official, of course, but it sounds quite final. The second season of the show was never discussed by Marvel, although head writer Jessica Gao, somebody who, well, I liked comic books, but I have no idea how to write. But I did the Pickle Rick episode, and that's great because, Marvel's been doing so well since they decided to co-opt a whole host of Rick and Morty writers. Loveness, who did Ant-Man and the Wasp and Quantumania. Michael Waldron, who did Multiverse of Madness and is going to be doing the 2 upcoming Avengers films, so just brace your assholes for that one. Not for further seasons, and a final episode left the possibility open. No, it didn't. I've watched review after review of that dog shit show, and guess what? It's pretty much sealed up. It brought in Daredevil, and unfortunately did some damage to his character right then, but outside of that, I was asking for a season 2, okay? But if Disney has decided against any further She-Hulk on TV, it wouldn't be a surprise. In several ways, She-Hulk Attorney at Law was emblematic of the issues Disney has faced with an ambitious plan to extend top-tier cinematic franchises, Marvel and Star Wars, into streaming TV series. And yeah, that's where I want to take this video right here, because obviously She-Hulk's not getting a season 2. It blew over $200 million. It ended up attracting absolutely nobody. Given how atrocious the performance of Disney Plus has been, okay, in the most recent update, it lost another 11.7 million subscribers. We haven't even got the update to see how well that $2 for 3 months of access ended up working out for them, or what the drop-off after that was, after people was like, I got no value out of this stuff, I'm just not going to subscribe again, peace out, thanks. I would have been happier with the $2, but hey man, you live and you learn. But the company and the streaming service is losing, okay, good timing on that one, thanks Forbes, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars per quarter. All for what? Forgettable, disposable, awful streaming shows that nobody ever goes back to watch? Hey, when was the last time that you checked out the Book of Boba Fett? Huh? When was the last time that you went and you refreshed your memory in anticipation of the upcoming Agatha series? When did you go back and watch WandaVision? Or, hey, there's a new Captain Black America Falcon Man show, or movie. That's the next movie that the MCU proper is going to be doing. Are you itching to go back and check out Falcon and the Winter Soldier? No. All of those came out. All of those cost ludicrous amounts of money, like it's mentioned right there. And then, as Business Insider also points out, $25 million an episode is wasted on these projects. Thank God Echo was only 5 episodes, meaning that, woof, boy, we got off the hook just so nicely with only spending $125 million. And obviously, budgets are going to fluctuate between shows. I would have a list pulled up, but there's no official budgets for these things actually released. All we hear is Speculation on some shows outside of the Obi-Wan show on the Star Wars side of things, that cost $90 million. $90 million for that trash fire that contradicted and retconned Star Wars original trilogy. Like, you desecrated cultural icon. All for what? So you could have really poorly choreographed fight scenes? Fantastic stuff. I think that was another Rick and Morty writer. Anyways, but his main character was a walking special effect. Special is definitely heavy emphasis I would use on that. According to Variety, led to ballooning budgets of as much as $25 million per episode and a total cost equal to that of major blockbuster movie releases. Yeah, because, okay, even if these shows only have limited releases, 6 to 8, I think WandaVision was the longest one at 10 episodes. I think. Maybe 11. I think it might have been 11. But regardless, it all just sits in that nice little sweet spot. They're all getting over $100 million. And what are they not doing? Attracting any sort of outside attention. That's why at the beginning of the most recent Marvel outing, The Marvels, they had to do a big ol' recap for Ms. Marvel because nobody watched the goddamn show that she was a part of. They didn't even bother referencing Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. And that shit cost over $200 million. And that's just the ones that people at least passingly talked about at the time of its release. You've got all of those other animated crap shows, like there's What If going on for Marvel, and I think there's talks of it happening over on the Star Wars side of things, and all of those goofy ass Star Wars Visions, Skeleton Crew is on its way out, and those aren't cheap. They might look cheap, but we're talking these live action shows that are costing upwards of 150, 200 million, in some instances over $200 million. Here's a spoiler for Disney. Money, in fact, is a finite resource, and if you don't, here's some simple economics, Dave Ramsey style for you. If you don't take in more money than you put out, you're going to be in a long-term financial deficit, and that spells a disaster for your company. I know, right? If I have to lay it out for you, somebody should probably tell them up there. Make matters worse, Variety also reported the Marvel Studios script development and production process proved ill-suited for episodic television. Yes, resulting in She-Hulk's case. Well, and also that entire Daredevil show, Born Again, which is going to have to be reshot again because they had 8 episodes. 8 out of, because that one was supposed to be a longer endeavor. The studio looked at that and went, wow. This is like total trash. We can't put this shit out there. We got to scrap all of it. Back to the drawing board on that one because they think, and this is what ended up happening with that Obi-Wan show because, well, the movies ended up performing so poorly and oh my god, my COVID and all that stuff. It's like you could go ahead and put that film, you could put that film out there if you wanted to, but at the end of the day, you realize that, well, we don't really have that much of a script here. Our premises are going to be a little bit weak. Fuck it. We'll just go ahead and make a show out of it. We'll just go ahead and stretch the concepts very, very, very thin and just plop it on the streaming service. Who's gonna care, right? Well, when you're Star Wars and you used to make all of your money at the cinema, now you've reduced yourself just because you no longer care at all whatsoever about the quality of the show. You've reduced yourself to a simple streaming property. It's a sad case. She-Hulk was an object lesson, sure, in how difficult it is to scale a franchise movie making down to TV. Yeah, She-Hulk, that was the first time that people got, hip to this. It wasn't any of the other endeavors. It wasn't the fact that the bloom really fell off the rose with Mandalorian Season 2. Shout out Gina Carano from that video yesterday. After premiering 9 live-action shows in the space of 3 years. Holy shit, man. Like, I follow this stuff pretty closely. I know I didn't do reviews on any of that stuff, but 9 under the Marvel umbrella. I could probably name them, but I would definitely struggle to fill all 9. Let's see if I can get them, okay? So we got WandaVision, okay? Then it was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then it was Loki, okay? Loki, interesting how that one, okay? We're going to notice a pattern. Let's see how many I can fill out right here. So Loki, and then after that, what was it? Hawkeye, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion. I don't know if they count Loki Season 2 or not in there, but maybe. And that's 8. I got really close. But did you notice something that's there? And I know that I'm not forgetting one that this would, end up contradicting, but none of those shows, save for Loki, which is leveraging an established, well-beloved, or a beloved character from the franchise, none of them ended up getting a Season 2 at all whatsoever. It was never even discussed with any of them. You know what that tells me? Even the fact that they're going to be repurposing a lot of those characters in future installments, theoretically, if there's going to be an MCU even moving forward, none of those shows performed worth a damn. That's why we didn't see official viewing figures ever coming out. We got some Samba TV numbers, and you got to do some funky math in order to try to figure out, okay, so between this many people and this many people watched, maybe potentially, because that's only a small subsection of people viewing it on television screens. So yeah, there's a lot of extrapolation that you can do there, but nothing concrete. The people who know are Disney, and you just go ahead and take a look at their decision making and realize that Loki was the only one to get a season 2, and there is absolutely no talk at all whatsoever about a third season. That lets you know that that was the tallest midget in the room, if you will. It was the best performing of a really big dud bunch. Yeah, now Marvel is now leaning into the animation for the yes, with X-Men 97. Oh my god. And Eyes of Wakanda. She's got the eyes of an ethno-state. It only has a few live-action TV projects on its slate, yes, with one of them being Agatha, whatever the name of our show is going to be this week. Darkhold Diaries, Coven of Chaos, All Access, whatever the hell the other one was, Sisterhood of Sorcery. Like, there's been at least, unironically, I'm not memeing on this one, at least 3 different taglines to that show that was made off of a meme song, The End of WandaVision, which, guys, that took place in 2021. The fuck are you doing over there? Losing a lot of money. That's what it seems to be. But at least, you know, the purse strings are getting tightened a little bit because She-Hulk, well, I guess we're just going to have to wait. If some of those plot leaks end up being confirmed, we're going to have to wait until Captain Black America Falcon Man ends up coming to our screens in 2025. You know, one final thing on ballooning budgets. That film was already scheduled to cost north of $300 million. And then they just sent it back out for full and total reshoots. Yeah, if you think Disney's actually going to be course correcting on a grand scale, oh, it's going to be taking a long ass time before they correct the underlying problem of having shit scripts. They'll eventually get around to that though, because eventually even Disney can run out of money. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.